Hey everybody, welcome to a Wedding Wednesday Cricut craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time. Hit that bell icon because that will alert you to when I post a new video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make this really cute countdown. It is a very easy craft to make, and you can get the blanks either on Amazon or cut them yourself. And all you need to do them is a little bit of wood and some vinyl in the color of your choice, as well as some paint, or you could use stain. So you have a couple options, and these are a lot of fun. As you can see, you have the different numbers on the block to cut down, or to count down, and it's really simple to do. And I just made them a little more fun by making the 0 a diamond ring. So let's go over to Design Space, and I'll show you guys how we get started. We're ready to paint our blocks, and I'm just using some freezer paper. I just laid that down to protect the surface, and then I'm just using some Nicole's Craft Studio brand acrylic paint. I got this at AC Moore. For these, I don't usually use anything too expensive or crazy, so we're just gonna put some on our freezer paper. This is why I use freezer paper, partially to save me the trouble of getting anything to put the paint on and also protect my surface. I'm just using a sponge brush, and all we're gonna do is just paint our blocks. This is a pretty simple task. With acrylic paint, it doesn't take a lot of precise skill, and you can put as many coats on as you want. So like right now, my coat is super light and it looks almost stained, so I may leave it like that, or we might put more coats on. This is just a personal preference thing, and we're obviously only going to paint 3 sides of this because we need one side to be completely okay drying, and so we'll come back and have to paint the other sides. But for right now, we'll just paint these 3 sides and we'll let it dry. Luckily, acrylic paint, especially if you put it on pretty thin like I am, it'll dry pretty quickly, so you don't have to worry too much about waiting hours and hours for this craft. It's a pretty quick craft. So we'll do each of these blocks. Again, we did cut these out of what I'll have to double check, but I believe it was a 6-foot board. I got it at Home Depot. It was only about $4. I think it was a good price at $4. I don't think it was too crazy. But all I'm going to do on these, I'm just going to make sure that I leave one of them completely open, like not painted, so that I can set it down. I apologize if you guys can hear my dog crying in the background. I don't know what her problem is today. She has been just crying like crazy and driving me nuts all morning, so I don't know. I've tried everything, so I give up with her. I think she just cries because she wants attention most of the time. But you guys can paint these any colors you want, whether you're using this for your wedding like I'm making these for, or whether you're going to use them for perhaps a vacation, countdown. These are great for like kids' school countdowns, even if like you're counting down to like a special event. These are awesome, and you can use them for just about everything, and it's just a lot of fun with these. You can do a lot with them and make them so personal, just depending on how you want to decorate them. So as you can see, I'm just painting my blocks. I'm going to leave a little space so my fingers still have a spot to hold on to these, and then I can come back and finish painting them once they're dry. But we'll just set this one to the side, and we'll just continue on our blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and finish painting these off camera, and once we are done, we can put a few more coats on. In Design Space, we're going to start with just a couple of templates, and that will help us get everything to fit on our blocks that we want. So I always start with a square. Since these are going to be little blocks, we'll start with those. Those are about 1.5 inches, so up at the top right here where it's a size, I just type in 1.5. We only really need one of those because we can fit all of our numbers onto one block. Since we have 4 blocks, so we can make sure we can count down pretty far. Oops, and I did not mean to click that. Next thing you're going to do is go to your shapes. You're going to open another square. You're going to want to make sure that you've measured all of your wood. So you need to know how long and also how tall it is. So our wood is 8 inches by about 1.5, and then 10 inches by 1.5. So since it's not a perfect square, we need to unlock it, which is the little unlock button right here in the lower left-hand corner. You're going to change its size so we know that it's 8 inches wide, and we know that it's about 1.5 inches tall. We're going to make one more, and that one we're going to do the same thing where we're going to unlock it. This one is going to be our 10 inches long, and then our 1.5 inches tall. What this does is it just helps us so we know that whatever design we're going to put on our blocks will fit. So I'm just going to stack them a little bit just so I can get a better idea of how they're going to look. let's go ahead and start with the numbers. So I know that I need to do a countdown from below about 400. I think it's 443. You need to have 4 blocks, and you need to do the blocks in, you need to do 2 sets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 2 blocks. And then the next block you're going to do, next 2 set of blocks is going to actually be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 0. You're going to do 2 of those, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 0. The 6 can be flipped over to be a 9, so it doubles as a number, which is really great. So find a font that you like, and I actually am probably going to change the zeros over to something really cute to go with the wedding countdown theme. But let's just find a font that we like. I'm going to keep it with something that's pretty straight up and down, nothing like too fancy. I want them to be easy to read. And so all you need to do now is just size them into your block. So just make sure that they fit on your block. I think that's a pretty good number. I could probably go a little bit bigger with it, but not too much. I think that's pretty good. But like I said, I'm going to change these zeros out to something just a little more fun. Let's do a diamond ring. So you can get rid of the zeros, just erase those. And you can stick those over to the side. You don't need them right now. I know I had a ring in my uploaded images, so let's view all my images. And this is the nice thing with CRICUT, is that it saves all the stuff that you've uploaded. So you can go back if you used a ring or antlers or whatever you want to use for a second project. You can easily do that. So let's go ahead, and I actually kind of like that, even though I know it's 2 zeros. I kind of think that's cute. So let's use this one. This is the one I was picturing. So we can insert that image, and it's going to insert all 3 because for some reason my computer's deciding to select everything today. So let's just use the one that we wanted to. So what we need to do is size that so that it fits within the block. And all we're going to do, I'm going to make this one kind of big just because I want to make sure that it's easy to cut. And we just need 2 of these, so just duplicate it, and you can just leave that off to the side. The next thing that we need to do is figure out what we want to put on our blocks. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll do the numbers and then days until our happily ever after. We've got plenty of space for it. So what we're going to do is days until our, that's going to be the first block. Now this is where you get to kind of be your own creative person and pick out a font that you like. These will be relatively small, so you'll want to think about that when choosing your font. You can do a script font. You can do whatever, kind of, is something that you like, your style, or the style of your wedding or your friend's wedding or whoever you're making this for. So just pick something that you like. I actually love this font. This is one of my favorite fonts to play with, especially for wedding stuff. I love the little hearts. So let's use this font, and you just want to make sure that it's going to fit in the block. And the nice thing is you can unlock your fonts and stretch them out a little bit if you want it to fill more of the font or of the block. It just depends on how you want to do it. So I'm going to make them that way, and then so until our, and then we're going to do happily ever after. You could do things that say like until we say I do, until, you can do just whatever style you want. It doesn't really have to be exactly what I'm doing here, which is really nice. You guys can be creative, do your own thing. So I think that's like perfect. I love it. I think it's really cute. Now, if you want to get an idea of how it's going to look when you go ahead and cut it, you can change the color of your blocks to be more close to the color that we painted to paint the paint that we used. So let's use this. So this will give you just an idea, like if you want to change the color of your vinyl, like you want to do maybe purple vinyl on it, this just gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. Now I am going to do black just because I think that it's just going to fit more of the style of the wedding. Before we cut, make sure you just get rid of the blocks. We don't need them. They were just an extra piece just so we could see and make sure that everything fits. The one thing I will tell you is if you don't want anything to move around, like if you know exactly like you have spacing on something that you don't want to move around. If you're going to do like 2 lines on a block that's already pieced together, you'll want to attach your stuff. But because mine is pretty well, you know, where I want it, I don't have to do anything as far as attaching. So I'm just going to click make it. And I may move the numbers around because see how like they're taking up a lot of vinyl. I don't like that, and I hate wasting vinyl. So I'm going to hit cancel, and what I'm going to do is ungroup these. And what that's going to allow the Cricut to do is it's going to take those numbers and place them on my vinyl to save the vinyl. So when I go and click make it, instead of being all spaced out like that, it's going to do it so that it saves as much space on my vinyl as it can. And since my numbers don't need to be spaced correctly because it's going to be one single number on each side of my block, I'm going to do it this way. But you'll see that obviously happily ever after and the days until are still together, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to go ahead and get this all cut out and weeded. And I know you guys have seen that 1,000 times, so you don't need to watch me cut them. But I'm just using a Oracle 651 vinyl, permanent vinyl. And we are going to get this cut out. And just so you guys know, I do select just regular vinyl. I don't do anything with the pressure on it. So let's get this cut out, weeded, and I'll show you guys how we apply it. We are ready to put the vinyl on our blocks. So all I did was I just put transfer tape on everything, and then I cut them all out so that we have all little separate pieces. So all you need to do is use your squeegee and press your transfer tape on, and then peel off your numbers. Simple, simple, simple. And then just center your number best you can. You can use like a laser level or measure if you really want to, but I really don't care to measure. It just adds an extra step, and usually eyeballing it isn't so bad. So all you're going to do is just like you would with any other vinyl is just place it onto your product or your item, so in this case this wood block, and then press it down with your squeegee and then peel off your transfer tape. Simple as that. Now, I'll finish the blocks off camera just because there's so many of them and there's a lot of numbers, but let me do the little diamond ring just so you guys can see. So it's got pretty thin lines, so you'll want to make sure that when you put your transfer tape on, you make sure that it's stuck really well. And then all I do is I peel my transfer tape from my backing versus my backing from my transfer tape. And then I'm just going to put my diamond ring onto my block. Again, just eyeballing where center is. And then I'm going to press it down really well. And I want to make sure that I press it down really well with the squeegee. But because these are wood blocks, I should have grabbed it, but I didn't. I'm going to show you this new product. It's literally, it's a bouncy ball. You can get these. Your kids probably have them. But I will say, this one is a little bit squishier. It's from 651vinyl.com. I just got it. But this is great when you have something that's a little textured like this wood, because you can use the ball to rub the product on, the vinyl onto your product, because it's going to help squeeze it into these little ridges. Because I did not sand this wood. I did nothing to this wood other than cut it. But you can get these blanks from Amazon, which I will link below for you guys. But as you can see, it's really nice on there. So it's really pretty. So let's go ahead and do one of our big blocks. Let's do the days until are. So again, doing the same thing. I already pressed it down with the squeegee, and I just peel it upside down. I feel this just helps a little bit better as far as making sure all my letters are stuck to my transfer tape. Just going to flip this over, and we're going to find the side that we want to use, since we're only going to need one side on this little piece of dog hair. And all we're going to do is just, again, center it the best you can, level it, whatever works for you. Press it down. I'm going to use my little ball this time because I do know this one is not fully, completely smooth. So I just rub my ball. And actually, this feels really good on your hands, especially if you have like carpal tunnel. It's a really nice feeling. So we'll just go ahead and rub that on. And then you're just going to do the same thing. Peel your transfer tape off. These are such a fun craft to make, and they're really honestly easy. They look way harder than they are, but they're really very, very simple. So you guys can see there is our days until are. So let's do happily ever after, and then I will do everything else off camera, and we will then show you our final product. I'm really excited for you guys to see this. I think this is really a fun craft, and this is such a nice gift that you can offer you know, up for like a friend getting married, or you can use these for a vacation that maybe you're looking forward to. Really, you could use them for anything. Retirement, Days of school would be really fun. These don't even have to be countdowns. These could be really cute calendars as well. You could make yourself a really fun calendar. You would just need a couple of these blocks and you could flip them and have a different month on each one. There's just lots of options. You guys can be super creative with these, but I really wanted to do this one as a wedding video because I really liked our wedding countdown. It really made it a little more fun and it kept me in track as to, oops, and that one did not stick very well. Let's go ahead and use this squeegee on this guy. It really helped me keep on track, like planning wise, and kind of knew like, okay, I'm this many days out, so I really should have this done or figured out, or, you know, I've got this many days, so I should probably call and make an appointment for this, that, or the other thing. So there's our happily ever after. I think this is really cute. So let's go ahead and get these finished, and I'll do the little countdown blocks, and when we're done, I'll show you the whole thing. Here is our finished product. This was so easy and pretty fun to make. These are great, like I said, for countdowns for weddings or vacations, but check this out. You can flip them around and you could have 343 days, and then you could have 367, and there is a fourth block for these, but you can count down all the way from, I believe it's 443, so that you would have every single number accounted for. Some of the ones on Amazon don't have every number, so you end up getting kind of screwed because they only come with 3 blocks. So if you're going to go for a pretty long one, I do recommend extra blocks. But I just love how cute this is. I love the little 0 being the diamond ring. I just think it adds a little extra something fun to these. So it's just be creative, have fun. You can paint the blocks different colors, do whatever you like to them. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos all the time. Hit the bell icon. That will alert you to when I post new videos. I post new videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. I hope you guys had a wonderful time learning how to make this super cute countdown block. Have a great day and happy crafting!